Leanne, and I'm coming to you from Bulu, otherwise known as Perth, Western Australia. I'm going to be sharing at TSI a little bit about our project called The Lives We Lead Work Life, which is the sharing of stories of people with disability across our regional and sometimes very remote areas of Western Australia in their work life and their contributions that they're making to their employment and to their community as part of that. I hope you can join me, and I look forward to meeting you then. Bye.
So in a moment, Jack will lead us off, and then we'll invite you, Kirk, to help center us in. And I will be just putting everybody on mute. Let us know in the chat if there's any renaming we can do. We're happy to help you do that. Folks, live transcript is enabled, which means that you can see closed captioning as best as it can happen, or you can adjust on your toolbar and make that disappear if you don't want to see the subtitles.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Virtual Toronto Institute, day 2. Already, for me, it feels like year 2, but we're flat out, and welcome back this morning. We have a giant surprise for you because last night, Leanne, who is somewhere in the backwoods in Australia, let us know that there was no internet. However, this morning, it's back. So in a moment, we will have the delight of Leanne. So over to you, Kirk.
Thank you, Jack. Good morning, everyone. So yeah, let's settle in and drop into our space today. If you're willing to do so, please close your eyes. And we're gonna just find our breath together. Meditation is a spiritual practice. It's a practice in which we open a door to find ourselves, and we first do that through finding our breath. So as we breathe in through our nose, I am aware of my in-breath. As we exhale through our mouth, I am aware of my out-breath. We inhale, I am aware of my in-breath. Exhale, I am aware of my out-breath. Yesterday, we began a 3-day journey in the virtual Toronto Summer Institute. And through World Cafe and continued conversations throughout the day, we were provided opportunity to be aware of our situations in our places, within ourselves. Oftentimes these conversations held an energy of frustration, of an awareness of the inequities in the world, the pain and the suffering we experience and those around us experience. We gathered to be collectively aware of this. And Corey Muscara writes, from awareness comes our ability to see what is happening and choose not to become it. When you're ready, you can open your eyes, you can move forward.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know how you do it, Kirk, in a way that brings the spirit exactly of where we are as we think even about shining the light. We spoke with Leanne this morning in getting ready, and you said, Leanne, we just do the do. We don't really want to have people shining a light on what we're doing very often. We're more comfortable just doing the do. And we are so honored that you agreed that we could shine a light on the very important mischief and work you've been up to, bringing these stories forward. And I just want to say, Leanne, Leanne and I started coming to the Toronto Summer Institute around the same time. My first Toronto Summer Institute was in 2005, and yours, Leanne, was in 2006. And we have Kathy Hollins to thank for that, because she put a note in your order of books that said the Summer Institute was coming, and you said, I'm going to go. And the rest is history. We love the energy you've always brought. And you all should know that when we would make a space on Sundays of the Summer Institute for a little speakeasy, when we would invite people to share about 5 minutes of what they were up to, Leanne would see us coming and say, no, 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 please don't. And then she would always agree. And so we are so grateful that you are sharing with us this morning these stories. And we want to pass it to you to further introduce yourself and talk about why this is important to you, and invite us all to think about that as well.
Thank you, Linda. Hi, everybody. As Linda said, my name's Leanne, and I'm coming to you from, well, I live in Perth in Western Australia. As Jack said to me the other day, you know, you've got the weird accent that, you know, will keep people listening anyway. So hopefully that's the case. So Jack, would you mind just putting the slides on, please? There's so many familiar faces on the screen. It's so wonderful, and so many familiar names, and some newbies, which I'm looking forward to getting to meet. It's a Tuesday evening here, so it's 9:15 on Tuesday night. So our timing difference makes it a little tricky, along with internet coverage. So anyway, where I live is the land of, it's known as Perth, but it's in its traditional name, it's Booloo, and it's the land of the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation. And I'd just like to acknowledge and pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging. The land that I'm on at the moment, though, is actually it's called Fitzroy, the Fitzroy Valley, and there's 5 different tribes that I'm on, and I just want to acknowledge those tribes or language groups that I'm connecting with up here, which I'll share a little more about when we get to a story to share. And that's the Bunaba, Gunayandi, Naikina, Walmajara and the Wangkatjungka tribes. So it's important just to recognise the landers at the moment. Thanks, Jack. Jack, next slide, please. Thank you. So for people who may not know, as just a little spiel around our organisation is called Western Australia's or WA's Individualised Services, and we're a very small team of people who have a disability, support, care and love for someone with a disability, or have worked in the disability area or community services for a very long time, and that is where I guess I fit. We're member-based organisations, so people with disability, their families and service providers can be members of WACE, and I guess our focus is around doing what we can to support people to have the best lives that make sense to them in their community. And one of the ways that we do that, we have a whole range of projects that we where we support and work with people. And I'm going to share with you a little bit today about one of those projects, which is called The Lives We Lead Work Life. Next slide, please, Jack. All of us that are on this call and all over the world, we know that there are awesome stories of people with a disability in meaningful and contributing employment. And our project was really to showcase that from our Western Australia people, and the focus was on regional and remote areas. WA, which I'll show you in a minute, is a very, very large state of Australia, the biggest state, and it's very vast and different in its landscape and its people. So sometimes in regional and remote areas, it's difficult for anybody to get employment, but significantly more difficult for people with disability and for where people's capacities may not be easily visible. So the project is capturing the stories of people across WA. There we have a reference group, which is people with disability and some people who've been involved with past projects, and we use a co-design approach to curate their stories to ensure that what we're producing is reflective of the person's voice and not the organisation's outcomes being ticked, if you like. So the reference group created the title, which is The Lives We Lead, and the logo, which you'll see in the centre of the logo, which is our WA state, is what's known as a geode. Jack, next slide. So a geode, for those of you who may not know, is it's a small cavity in a rock which is lined with crystals or other mineral matter, and I guess some people may know amethyst, like an amethyst cave. So the geode was very symbolic to the reference group about when you really deeply discover what's inside, and we go deeper into discovering who people are. Sometimes what might look really ordinary is actually is something that's really beautiful, and so the project was really looking at how do we discover around someone's employment what that contribution is, or what that geode is inside, to showcase other people, to showcase to other people. So that was that's the project, and I'm here to share some of the stories. Now, the reason I've got this map over here around that, we live in a big state of Western Australia, and I just got this from the internet, so I hope it's correct. But you'll see on the left-hand side where it says Perth, that is and you see the shape of the geode is the same shape. That's our state, and it's, as you can see, it's very large. So a couple of the stories, and where I'm sitting on at the moment is right up the north, up the top of Western Australia, sort of in, not close to the desert, but sort of in the middle. So that's just to put a bit of context to when we're capturing stories of people in regional and remote areas, that's where we're talking about. So yeah, thanks, Jack. So before I show Soraya's story, and I've got it up there to say it's about 265 kilometres. I'm guessing some of you are in miles, but for us it's kilometres, south of Western Australia, south of Perth, sorry. But before we press play, what I'd like you to do, or ask you to do, is use the chat. I'd be really keen for you to use the chat. And I want you to just note down what comes up for you in watching the videos and hearing this and hearing people's stories. What comes up for you about Soraya and her employment and her contribution, and I guess also what was interesting you to come to this session around hearing stories about employment. What about employment is important as well. Really deeply looked at with her family what employment could look like for her, and based around her individual, I guess, gifts that she's got to give people. And so I'm really interested to hear what you think about that. So I know it can be a little bit challenging to use the chat sometimes if you're not used to it, but it'd be really great if you did. So Jack, if you could press play on Soraya's story, that would be great.
My name's Ray. My business is sunrise, flowers and craft. They smell beautiful. I like it. I take flowers to the cafes. I take flowers to the weeds. I love them.
Thanks, Soraya. Thank you very much. They're beautiful.
I love Tim Paul. Was my favorite customer. Paul is at the Marion.
Is that my invoice? I'll just get you some money. Thanks again for coming and doing the flowers. You do a really good job.
My mum has a beautiful garden. I snake flowers at Mum's house. I pick petals from the paper. I iron the petals on the paper. I glue the paper around the vase. I take flowers to Yarburn. It's a cool place. I'll take flowers to Ginger. I've done flowers for 4 years. I love flowers very much. I like the feeling of prettiest. Love colours. Flowers make me feel happy. I love my business.
I will hold you closer. I will hold you close.
Thanks for the comments, everyone. I'm keen to, we'll have a little breakout towards the end just to gather some more thoughts from people around what resonates for them. Jack, if we could go to the next slide. Okay.
So please go ahead and share what you were reflecting about, Soraya.
Okay, thank you. Since Soraya's video has been aired, she's had so much work, requests for the vases, and also across her local community of Margaret River. So showcasing people's contribution to their work, but also how that is valuable and wanted and needed in the community has just been, it's been great for Soraya. So she might need to open up a larger sort of business to make the orders, I think. So the next story is Ethan, and Ethan's from Fitzroy Crossing, which is the land I'm on at the moment as I come to you, which is about close to 2,500 kilometres north of Perth, and it's in a pretty remote area. So Jack, if you could play Ethan's story, that would be great.
Radio on 936 AM. Yeah, I got the first song view today is Fitzroy Express with a little bit of country. Pack up your guitars, boys, and wake up to a brand new day. I work at the radio station in Wonky, Fitzroy, and my boss is Wayne. He's the boss who looks after us. He's a good boss. I got my family here in Fitzroy. Grew up here all my life. Fitzroy Crossing is a lovely town. You got the river down there, the gorge. I used to play football for the Yakanara Doggies. Used to be like Stephen Hill or Michael Walters. And I love my female doggies as well. Doesn't matter when I lose, I'm always a Pebble Army. Yeah, I used to work in the station. I used to ride horse. I used to master cattle. Yeah, after my accident, I told them I don't want to sit down doing nothing. They said, Ethan, you want a job? I said, yes, okay. Yeah, okay, I want to love a job. Then when I started practicing, and people love my radio. I love my music, love the sound around me, love everything about this place. I play mixed rock and roll, country, indigenous music. The people around here love my music, and they always say, we like your show as well. At the hostel, I play good music for them, and they always sing along with me. And when I sing, it makes me feel good in myself. Makes me feel all right. Some of my favorite songs is the Future Express with Home Sweet Home. When I hear the song, I feel home. Music means a lot of things to me. When I'm playing the music, I feel like I'm at home. I'm thinking about people around town, my little brothers, my little sisters. The radio is a good thing for the people outside if they're listening in. People like music because it gives them hope. The best thing of my life is my job. Had my job for 6 or 7 years. People think I'm a star. And I always tell them, I'm not a star, I'm just Ethan. At the end of my show, I feel proud of myself, doing well in the radio station. People in this town can hear my voice from here to Ascan to Falls Creek, around this Fitzroy Valley. I'm the voice in the valley.
Tropical islands on the Pacific Ocean. Bright lights on the noise pollute the city. You can't have it all.
Ethan is, I've seen some of the comments in the chat. He is infectious. He's completely infectious. His next step around is, for him, is getting his own place, because although this is a remote community, he lives in a nursing home. That's where his accommodation is, where his home is. So his employment and his contribution to his community is really, really important for him. So that was Ethan, and you saw a little bit of the spot of where I'm actually at right at the minute. So Jack, could we show the next video, please? So Devon, just to share with you a little bit about Devon. So this is about 700 k's south of Perth, and Devon can definitely show you himself, who he is.
My name is Devon O'Sullivan. My business is called Devon's Handy Office Help. Can I please order? Here is your order. Thanks so much. I deliver coffee and food. People text their drink orders to my phone. I try to make people's day a bit easier. Travis and I go to pick up the orders at a few places around town. We are happy to pick up keep cups because recycling is important. I go to lots of schools with coffee orders for staff. Castletown Primary is a regular customer of mine. I also pick up the newspaper every day and take it to Chris Harris Dental Surgery with a coffee. We've been going for over 5 years now. I do mail deliveries. At Swan's Vet, it's really important as they are so busy. I save them having to drop off and collect their mail. I pick up shopping, newspapers and lunch for people who find it hard to get out. There aren't a lot of delivery services in Esperance and people love it. The best things about working are hanging out with Travis, seeing lots of people, visiting lots of places. So many people know me now, and I feel great cause I am helping people. Goodbye, have a nice day.
Thank you, Jack. So Devon, what's interesting about Devon's story is that Devon actually started with doing shredding and to his local community, and it got so big, the business in shredding got so big that he had to employ people himself to actually do the shredding for him, so he could do the things that he loves, which is more about seeing people and helping them and taking them their coffees and their shopping and their newspapers. So he's very well known within his community. Linda, how are we going with time in terms of the breakouts? And because we've got a few videos, there's going to be 20 in total. We'll put the link in to where you can find the videos. There's a whole range of different sort of videos. We've got 7 at the moment, but there's another 13 coming, and we'll certainly make sure the link's available where you can get them and share them and watch them. And yeah, just checking in, Linda, about the time we've got.
Leanne, I think it would be just beautiful to take a pause, and I think there's one that we'll want to close with, but if you're good with it, let's give people an opportunity for some sense making. So Jack, if you stop, brilliant. Stop sharing the screen. That's great. And we will, Bill's queued it up for people to be in groups of 3. Occasionally there's some foursomes. And we want to invite you to lean into the conversation and just talk about what possibilities does listening into these stories open up for you. What's resonating, what's sparking your imagination. And we know how powerful it is for people just to be able to speak to that for a little bit and make some sense of it and as it settles into you. So we want to make space for people. We've got 10 minutes for a conversation. Please make space for everyone to speak. So it's Bill, I'll let you talk to people about that while I type the invitation into the chat.
Thanks, Linda. So breakouts are ready to go. We will move into small groups automatically in just a moment. You won't need to press any buttons. You'll be moved into a small group, and you will see a little countdown clock that shows you how much time is left from those 10 minutes. When time is up, you will be brought back to this large group, again, without having to press anything. So magic will happen.
All right, so that the question remains in your chat even when you're in the breakout. And yeah, enjoy and lean into the conversation. Thanks much. Hi, folks. Welcome back. We want to invite you to do a little bit of journaling here in the chat. I know there's never enough time. If you would share here what bubbled up for you, what did you start to think about? Maybe it's something you heard yourself say, maybe something somebody else said. We'd love to see the chat fall, hear those reflections. And Leanne, while folks are reflecting in the chat, Leanne, I wondered if you would reflect about some of the things that you ended up learning through the process of working with the storytellers. I thought that was, yeah, kind of whose voice was being raised and what kinds of things happened in the process of this. That would be great.
Yep. Well, there was, continues to be, and is learning all around for everyone that's involved. One of the biggest things that we've all learned is that, and I guess we were very intentional about, is that the outcome of the video, so the outcome being a produced video, doesn't override the integrity of the process in the storytelling to get that outcome. And sometimes, when our videographer, who's gorgeous, and our story capturer, have both reflected and fed back quite a lot around their learnings of how to be mindful about the intention of the video, hearing it from the person themselves, really capturing what it is for them. This isn't about the adversity people have overcome. It's not about the provider or someone that might have helped with them. It was really trying to stay true to just showcasing people in their roles in employment in WA, and the contributions they're making to the community in that. And many times there's been challenges to that process, to where it got really tricky. It got really tricky, and the integrity and the intentionality around the intent of capturing someone's story, and for that then to be produced on video, was it continues to be a learning for everybody. The imagery, how people are portrayed, ensuring that someone's voice is heard, and other people in the process aren't heard too much. And don't get me wrong, there's lots and lots that we're learning as we go, that if we reflect back on, earlier videos a year or two ago or 3 years ago, we just wouldn't do them in the same way. But there's been lots and lots of learnings, particularly around that the outcome doesn't override the integrity of the process. And we find that with anything really, with planning, with supporting people. The outcome of a plan doesn't get overridden by the integrity of a process of discovering who people are and how they want to live and where they want to work. And so, yeah.
That really beautifully also links to the one video, Jack, that you then wanted to show about the storytelling that has Liz's words and Garima and Peter singing the song. That's beautiful. And then we'll take a few moments to talk about the sessions for today. Thanks, Leanne.
Thanks, everyone.
We're out sharing stories so everyone can see how we take part economically and culturally, socially and politically, every way indeed. The stories of the lives we lead. I'm a painter
thing. Some of the people who started their own business after sort of really discovering what it is that who they are and what it is their contribution could be. We on our website you'll also see, and they're all free to download. Nothing is paid in our organisation, and they are specific to Australia's laws, but it might give you some ideas. It's called 8 Steps to Starting Your Own Business, and they're in easy read, and it talks through making a business plan. You know, thinking about your market, thinking about what actions you could take. So it was a bit of a project that we did with our Small Business Development Corporation here in Western Australia to produce some resources that people with a disability might find helpful when wanting to start their own business, like Soraya did and like Devon did. So I hope hope that helpful, or have a look and see if there's something that you might like. And 13 more stories to come out. They're coming out fortnightly. So hopefully if you get to like the page, all the links will be in. You can hear more about them.
Thanks,
And
Steve.
just so everybody knows, most, I think 7 stories and the link to your business program are already borrowed in public on inclusion.com. So if you just go to the front page and roll down to employment, you'll discover lots of the Leanne wisdom.
And I put those up in the chat. So I posted the links to that employment page, and specifically also to the Lives We Lead videos. And what, Leanne, deep gratitude for that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing those stories. I know this is going to be working on people, and there's a lot of great energy and lots more time we could and will spend talking about this. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you for terrifying me once again, Linda.
Yes, you're very welcome.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to show you a couple of paintings done by a local Perth Bulu Aboriginal Noongar woman called Katrina Hayden. We've done much work with Katrina, and she's been amazing in designing a number of paintings for us, including for our planning card set resource, as well as our small business resource. For our planning resource, Katrina painted an amazing print and gave a wonderful explanation that really captured our work at WACE. And this is how she described the painting. The middle circle represents you and your planning journey. The lines leading out show each steps being taken. The dots touching the outgoing wavy lines show detours or hurdles that may slow your progress with the planning towards the life that you want. Remember to stay focused and to not be distracted from outside your circle. Distractions are represented by the semicircles or dots on the outer edges. That's how Katrina explained the painting that you may be seeing. The other painting that Katrina did was for our WA or Perth Bulu NAIDOC Week, which is her title of the painting was called Healing Country. We purchased this painting from her as we felt it represented not only our WACE work, but it also captured the deep element of reconciliation and healing. Aboriginal people here talk about country as being a person and how it and the people need healing and connectedness. We also felt that it captured some work that we did at TSI, which was around they don't know we're seeds, which is this, they think we're buried, but we're actually seeds and we're growing. One of the other things that fits with our WACE work with this painting that really resonated was this idea that with a tree, and when you draw a tree, you don't necessarily see the roots. You know, you draw a tree and you see the trunk and the beautiful leaves that come from it. But it's actually the roots which form our values and our culture and the way we work and the things that we align to. And this painting really resonated for us around the things that are really important. You'll also notice that there's lots of circles that indicate our planning painting that she did. And I'll talk a little bit in a minute about the leaves on the trees that you can see. We have another painting that Katrina did for our Building a Small Business or Building Your Own Business resource about employment. And Katrina was really clear in her descriptions around what this could look like and what it meant to people. And I'll just read to you what her understanding is around that. So you'll see that in the painting there is a rainbow serpent, and Katrina explained this as being having centre stage in the design, because the rainbow serpent is a creator of rivers and lakes in the dream time. So he's representing your idea and the ability to create your own small business from this idea. Also representing the ups and downs of your idea and how this idea can be turned into a thriving small business. The 8 dotted circles throughout the painting represent the 8 steps of starting a small business. The white dotted lines at the bottom and the top remind you to stay grounded on this journey into small business, also to reach for the stars to find success. You'll see how all of those 3 paintings and the words from Katrina actually resonate with a lot of our waste work. So I hope you enjoy them. Thanks for listening.